Hello and welcome to the We All Follow podcast. My name is Matt Fox. I'm your host, and you can find me on X at Big Match Pro AFC. Today, I am joined by the man who has a better social network than Mark Zuckerberg, Nigel Bratton. How's it going, Nige?
Yeah. Good. Very good. Nice one.
Awesome. So today, please follow us on X. The podcast has a page, and we're going to put all of these podcasts as well as other fun giveaways and stuff like that up on X. So follow us at We All Follow Pod. And that's all the time that we have for formalities because we are going to jump right in to the round of 16. So we have the Euro 2024 Germany knockouts are upon us. And in the first, well, we're not going to go in order of time. We're just going to go in order of the bracket that I have in front of me, so, which has Spain at the top of the bracket. So Spain Georgia is going to be the first game that we'll talk about. We're going to do maybe 1 to 2 minutes, if that, on each game, just rapid fire thoughts, and then a pick on who you think's going to win.
Okay, let's go.
All right. So who do you got for Spain Georgia?
Easy. I think Spain are the best team in the tournament so far. I think they've surprised me really because I didn't think they'd be as good going forward as what they were. In recent years, they've kind of struggled scoring. They've had loads of possession and then won games 1-0 or drew 1-1 or etc. So it surprised me how good they've been going forward, to be fair, and they've been solid at the back, really solid. I think that's it's going to happen, isn't it, when you've got players in midfield like they have, and when you've got two goalkeepers, Unai Simon, David Raya, two good keepers. Spain have been good. Georgia, for me, been what a breath of fresh air. And they have got some good players, and good players who we already know about, like Kvaratskhelia, Minkatate, Kakabadze. All good players. Great goalkeeper, Mamadashvili, whose value must be skyrocketing right now. Valencia were holding out for 35, 40 million before the Euros. I reckon he could be more now. He's a monster. And I'd put him up there with because he's a big guy, 6'5", 6'4", 6'5". I'd put him up there with like a Donnarumma in terms of his stature. You know, when you look at him in goal, he's massive. I don't think Spain will have it all their own way against Georgia, but I do think I think they'll come out on top. So I don't think Georgia will score. So 2-0, 2-0 Spain, 2-0 Spain.
Okay. I mean, do you think that Georgia can potentially hit them on the counter? Like they've been playing pretty deep and have done pretty well like that. Do you think that they got a shot?
Yeah, that's probably the best chances on the counter because I don't think they've got. I don't think they'll see enough ball to play through them. I think it'll be a bit like against Portugal. They'll take a lot of pressure and then try and counter. But Spain are good. They're good defensively, and I think with Rodri screening in front of that back four as well, it'll be hard to break them down the transition. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is the time in these types of tournaments where you start to see like generally, and it sounds simplistic, but like the teams with the best players and the game changers, they tend to come up on top. And when you have not just one or two game changers, right? Like you talked about the Georgia squad and they got one or two game breakers, right? But you're looking at a Spain team with 5 or 6 or more,
Yeah,
right? I mean, they switched out 10 players on the last group game and it looked not that dissimilar from the first team, right?
correct.
So
Yeah.
when you have that kind of situation, it definitely makes it a challenge. So you've got Spain coming out of that first match. The next match is Germany Denmark. That's going to be on Saturday. So what do you think on that one?
Deutschland. I don't think they're beating Germany, and Germany will always concede goals. That's the thing. I can see Denmark scoring, but the way that Germany are playing, using their twin number 10s, so they're playing so. Nagelsmann's gone so attacking. It's great. Playing twin 10s, Musiala and Wirtz behind Havertz, with two wide players as well. He's not held back. I think it's great, and I think Germany, although they'll concede, I can see them scoring 2, 3, 4 goals. A bit like that first game against Scotland. If they get an early goal, Germany, I can see them proper rolling because you're into the knockout rounds now and it's starting to mean a bit more. And I just think they'll start going. The only question mark for me, obviously, for Germany is, like I said, at the back. Jonathan Tah is going to be suspended, I do believe, for this game. It could backfire on him, only like in terms of personnel. But I still see him winning the game.
Yeah, I mean they have the quality to make up for it, right? And that was one of the things that I think I mentioned it before about the two. Yeah, maybe it was in the group chat about the 2 yellow card rule, right? And when you have the games that are so tight and intense as they are, and you get 2 yellows, then you're out for a match, and that makes it really tough in this kind of tournament. But I think they'll be able to weather the storm. And again, I think when those guys get going and they're running downhill, it's pretty hard to stop them. So that rounds out that corner of the bracket, and then next we have Portugal, Slovenia. So I think we might guess who that is, but what do you think?
Portugal in extra time. I'm going to go Portugal extra time. I think Slovenia are not bad defensively. And again, Portugal, they're one of them teams. At the beginning of the tournament, I thought they'd probably got the deepest squad. When you looked at it on paper, you thought, oh, that's a good squad, that. But Portugal's problems, what they've had in tournaments before, not in qualifying, but in tournaments, where they have a lot of possession and don't score goals. So they'll be flying and they're winning 1-0 on getting a 0-0 draw. It's the Spain thing again. They've got to drop Ronaldo. He's doing nothing for him. They've got to put someone in younger who can move up front. I think we need to be a bit more bold in midfield. They've been quite defensive in midfield. I think we just need to get a bit bolder. And yeah, it's Roberto Martinez. I don't know. Martinez had the Belgium golden generation and messed that up, and I think he's going to mess this Portugal team up as well. I just don't understand what he's doing, but I still think they'll win. I think it might be extra time, but I can see Slovenia causing problems because Sesko's not done nothing so far this tournament, but it only needs one game, and it all changes.
Yeah, I think this might be a situation where the Portugal team wins in spite of the coach. Like they have so much quality that they'll figure it out at some point. But I don't think that he's necessarily helping things. So yeah, I think Portugal will go through. I think that game's gonna be tougher than people anticipate, but I think it'll be a good one. So moving on to what I think some people would call the marquee game of the round of 16, which is France and Belgium. What are your thoughts on this one?
Boring. I think it'll be boring. Honestly, France won't concede a goal because they've got, and their manager and their players, other players keep saying it, they've got the best centre back in the world in William Saliba. They just seem organised. France seem organised at the back, but it's can be click going forward. I was in France for the first week of Euros, and one thing what all of the other like locals and stuff saying in the bar and stuff like that was how attacking they are and how they're going to be able to blow teams away and stuff. And after my first game, I was talking to an ex-professional goalkeeper, French professional goalkeeper, and we were having a chat. And he before the game, he'd said that, we're going to beat Austria 3-0. I said it's going to be a lot closer than that. It turned out it was. And I just said to him, I says, do you not think that you're very, very transition heavy, attacking and reliant on individual moments of brilliance? And he said to me, he says, we've got no patterns. There's no patterns of play going forward. We either fire it out to Dembele and then he tries to take someone on. 9 times out of 10, he loses it or his end product's not very great. Or we try to get it to Mbappe and he tries to take someone on and then tries either shooting or cutting it back, but there's no one there. And he actually said their best chance of scoring was Rabiot, who has been a box crasher from midfield and maybe a long shot. And it's one of them. France need to find something. France really. Deschamps got the best talent out there, and they need to find something. They need to try something different.
It
because
almost it reminds me of when Kyrie and LeBron were playing with each other in Cleveland, and Kyrie would ISO, and he'd take the ball in the corner, and everybody would move away, and he'd get his possession, right? And then then he'd either score or he'd miss. They'd transition back to defense, and then the next play LeBron would take the ball, and he would ISO. And it
mm,
was just like this ISO off, right? And you had these two guys who like really couldn't play together, right? And that's really what it reminds me of. You have these like couple amazing players, right? But they're like you said, they're not really cohesive, right? And I guess it's interesting because the teams that have looked the most cohesive to me has been Germany and um, Austria, surprisingly, have looked like the most cohesive units, right? And Spain as well.
mm.
But the having like a style of play. One is like tactical coaching. The other is like the teams already have a style of play, right? For Austria, most of the players are from the same team, and so they're like all kind of built into that mindset. More not the same team, but similar models of clubs. Um, but yeah, it seems like France's vibes and inshallah, and when you have the best player in the world, at least of the ones that are eligible to be in this tournament, not named Lionel Messi, depending on your persuasion, um, you always got a chance, right? And they have such talent. And then Conte is like, I don't know what time machine Conte got out of with the doctor from Doctor Strange. Like, I don't understand Doctor Who. Like, I don't watch that show, but hopefully somebody gets the reference. Where did he come from?
Well, yeah, Kante has been good, but he's the one who I drop. I'd drop him uh,
Okay.
because, yeah, if I was Deschamps, I'd change it up. I'd drop Kante. I'd play Chouameni and Camavinga and Rabiot as my midfield three, maybe, uh, because I just think they need something better going forward. Uh, I think the front three, yeah, I'd change that as well. I'd play Barcola like we did in the last game. I'd play Mbappe and I'd play Giroud. I'd put Giroud up front and play Mbappe on the left, Barcola on the right. Giroud scores goals for him. And you can quite honestly see that they're missing a focal point. And I just think that's the thing. I mean, we haven't really spoke about Belgium. On the Belgian side, I think Belgium are a good side, but they're very old at the back, very
I just think
unsecure at the back.
they're not
Val
consistent.
No, Val Fice ain't good enough, and they've got Vertonghen, who's nearly as old as me. Uh, Lukaku, he's been good, Lukaku, but you know that he's 20 chances to score one. Trossard's not really been playing well. The wide players aren't really doing anything. Jeremy Doku's just doing a load of step overs, and then there's no really end product. And I just think, I mean, the two best players who I've seen for Belgium so far have been De Bruyne and Onana. De Bruyne has been great trying to create things and pull strings, and Amadou Onana has just been bullying people in midfield. But it's not going to win your games, and I think Belgium. Yeah, I think France will win. I think it'll be a bore off, and it'll be 2-0 France.
Yeah, I think like the marquee name of it is like gonna way overhype what it actually gives, and like you said, I think it's probably gonna be one of the least exciting matches of the knockout of the round of 16, but we'll see. Thanks for joining us for our first half of the round of 16 preview with Nigel. We'll be back to discuss the second half of the bracket with the whole squad. Thanks a lot.